Today, we are going to do an overview of SurveyAnalytics 8.0. This went live last weekend, so we're still fresh out the gate with all these changes. We are going to go through our top 10 changes. Christina is going to kick it off. Let me share my screen so that we can do that. And Christina is going to help us kick off with going over the general user interface changes that have happened here. So Christina, let us know what has changed on the UI.
Thank you, Z, and welcome everybody who has tuned in to see what is new with SurveyAnalytics 8.0. I guess the first thing that we can cover is just the general color scheme and UI changes that you can see as soon as you log into your SurveyAnalytics account. So the biggest thing that you'll be able to see up top is that we now have 2 levels of menus that are going to be available. So this is very useful because you'll only see the sub-menus that actually pertain to the product that you're going to be using or that you're using at that moment. So for instance, when you're under surveys, as Z is, you'll only be able to see the edit, send, analytics, mobile, and integration tabs that are applicable to the surveys. Z is going to cover a new product that we have for polls, but when you click on polls, the survey that, or the menus that pop up are only going to be the edit and analytics tabs that are only applicable to the polls product, and same with the communities. When you go into the communities product, the only sub-menus that pop up are going to be the ones applicable to communities. So it makes it a little bit easier for you guys to be able to navigate around each of the individual products that you may be using at the time. So if we go back to surveys, one thing that you will need to notice is that the delete a survey function has been moved to being underneath your settings gear tab. So as opposed to having the 3 buttons that were there before with a separate trash can to delete any of your surveys, you're going to be able to do that now underneath the gears tab. So in case you were wondering, you can still delete surveys, no problem. You can do that here. And then maybe the last thing to kind of take note of, Z, if you can go under the Edit tab. One thing that you'll notice when you go under Edit is that the menus on the left-hand side, or maybe under Analytics would be a better choice, just so we can see what's happening. So the menus on the left-hand side, on the left-hand navigation, are going to be uncollapsed for you, so you'll be able to see everything that you can do under each tab there without a problem. So you won't have to guess any longer of like, where was that conjoint analysis? Oh, okay, it's under choice modeling, or your data segmentations are going to be right there ready for you under advanced analysis.
Cool.
So those are the major UI changes that we have for the 8.0 version.
Cool. Thanks, Christina. I think the biggest takeaway here is we have really done our best to make sure that your experience here still remains a very good experience. We're trying to make things a little cleaner, a little easier for you to be able to access, and also just have it make a little more sense. So we're hoping those are kind of our top 3 things that we're really trying to do here with the new UI. Christina covered the UI. I'm going to cover some of the new stuff that we have added. So under surveys, under edit, we have added a few new question types. And you'll see here, if I add a question, and we go to advanced question types, we have added, under standard question types. So we've added 3 new question types. We've added CAPTCHA. We have, and here you'll find it under miscellaneous. We have added the date and time with calendar. So now you can have a calendar, not just date and time. And we've also added a signature question for you to be able to capture signatures. I believe that's under the advanced question types, and under upload, you can now upload a signature. So those are the three main new question, well, the three new question types that we have added in to SurveyAnalytics 8.0. So these are now available. So again, CAPTCHA, the date, and the calendar are both under standard question types, and then the advanced question type signature type under upload, the upload questions. So those are new question types. We've also added, with the new question types, we added one more thing to reporting, and that is under analytics. You're going to see under location data, you're now able to export store locator data. So we've had the store locator question type. You can now have that data included in the raw data export when you're doing location data. So that's another new feature that we've added to SurveyAnalytics. And we also have some new, a new module. We have rewards. So this is completely new for your surveys. We've added rewards as an integration in here. Let me get to it. Get into the correct survey to show this. So under our finish options, under settings, you now have rewards. And rewards include being able to set up your qualifying criteria, being able to select from a number of different rewards, Amazon.com gift card, Starbucks gift card. We also have a Tango gift card, which if you're not familiar with Tango, I think it's fairly new. But Tango lets you give someone a gift card and then they can redeem it for a number of different retailers, and they can also redeem it as a donation for a number of nonprofit organizations. So that is now also available under the rewards module. You can also set up coupons. You can set up your own user-defined and fulfilled reward, and then the global virtual Visa reward. So a Visa gift card that is usable around the world. So those are the different types of rewards that you can choose. You can also set up the qualifying criteria right from here, either all of your complete respondents based on a score, based on the first X number of respondents, or just random winners. So again, all of this is now integrated into the experience as one of the finish options that you can select. If you do select this and you set it all up, you will need to add a credit card to your account information, and that way when you set it up and you execute the survey, it will charge the credit card on your account for the cost of the rewards that you have added to your survey. I should note here, as we are working through this, if you do have questions, please feel free to send those in through the Q&A module anytime. We are taking those live online and answering them as we go, and we are also doing our best to address those here live as part of the webinar. And we do have a question, speaking of that says, can you show the CAPTCHA question and how it works? Sure. Let's go add edit questions. Let me go ahead and add a question for you here. We'll add the CAPTCHA. So this is the new CAPTCHA, and all you have to do is just add it, save it. You can change the text here if you would like. And now we can go and check how this looks on our survey. And so you'll see that it's I believe this is the new CAPTCHA that we have, that they've come out with. So you select this, and once it's selected, then the regular CAPTCHA comes up. So that is the new CAPTCHA question type. Really great for being able to keep from someone who is trying to access the survey via a bot from accessing it and being able to complete it. So really gives you a little more security around your survey if you include this question as one of the questions in your survey. All right. Christina, would you like to talk about the survey authentication, some of our new security?
Absolutely. So survey security is one of our top priorities here at SurveyAnalytics. So what we've done is we've also added 3 new security features, DS HMAC and SAML, which is going to help supply a much stronger encryption method in case you're in need of any additional security kind of features. So if your client or your company is requiring or wishing to include a higher level of security, you can add that under the Edit Surveys tab, going into security and then pulling down that menu of the survey authentication.
Cool.
You'll be able to add that there.
Yep.
And then also under your surveys tab, when you copy surveys over into a new folder or as you're just making a copy of the survey, one thing that we've also done in the new 8.0 version is the question and block randomization logic, quota controls, and your scoring logics are also going to be able to be copied over now. That was something before that would not always copy over, so we've been able to add that into the feature here. You'll always want to make sure and just take a peek before you set a survey live just to make sure that everything has copied correctly, but you'll be able to see a lot more opportunity in being able to copy all your surveys over and making sure that all of that logic is still there.
Awesome. So now I think we've pretty much covered everything under the surveys tab that is new. We're going to now go into polls. Since this is a completely new addition, this is actually probably, well, it's pretty straightforward. The polls is something, it's one question that you ask. I like to explain it as the poll is like the thing that you see on the media sites over in either the left or the right of an article that you just do one question, submit it, and then you get to see some some feedback on it, see how everyone else has been answering that. Well, this is now one of the tools that you can use within your SurveyAnalytics account is you can create those polls, and you create it just like you're creating a survey. So we'll go in here and create a new poll. We'll call this test webinar. Create the poll, and you'll see here, like I said, it's just a one question deal. It's pretty simple. You get single choice, multiple choice, or text box. You can set that up. You can then take this embed HTML, copy that, put it onto your website. Any website, you just drop this HTML in there and you will have your poll embedded on your page. So that, in a nutshell, is the polls, and polls do have their own analytics, so it keeps it separate from your surveys, especially since it's just one question, but you'll see we have a pretty robust analytics for the polls that you conduct. So if you're interested in that, it is now available to you for you to use on your SurveyAnalytics account. All right, Christina, do you think we've covered pretty much everything before we turn it over to JJ to talk about the stuff in communities?
I think so. As always, if you guys have any questions as more opportunities pop up, go ahead and put them in the Q&A module, and we'll be sure to answer them either at the end or as we keep going. But otherwise, I think it's JJ's turn.
All right, JJ, you are up, sir.
Nice. You guys are going to let me speak, huh?
Yeah, we are. We are. All right,
You guys showed some really awesome stuff in 8.0, some really great features, really advanced, and I like the new look and feel, and the navigation definitely makes some great efficiency, so hopefully everyone is an appreciation of that.
All right, let me make you organizer here, or the presenter.
All right, and just let me know when you're seeing my screen.
I'm seeing it.
Great. All right, so here we are at the Communities tabs in SurveyAnalytics, and we call it Communities, but really it's a robust community and panel management software. And for those of you who are currently using Communities, I'm sure you found great success with it, and if you have any questions about Communities or where we're going or what we're going to do in the future or any needs, please let us know, as we would love to assist with that. In communities, as you can see, we've taken some advantage of the new menu structure. Some of you may have remembered everything was listed out in the left navigation. So things that you did to edit your community, the send, all the options under incentives, all the options under analytics, and all the options under modules were all found over in the left navigation, which made it rather difficult to be able to know where you're going, where you're headed, and what you want to do. So using the new menu structure creates some great efficiencies and makes the tool very more powerful for those of you who are community admins and need to get some work done. So everything for the most part will be found in the same place that you found it before, but your sub-menus will break it up into something that's more digestible. So we have edit, we have send, we have incentives, analytics, and modules. And under edit, we will find the ability to set up our site and customize our advanced settings. And under members, we have the profile, the manage, the search, and the import and export feature. Under send, we find the ability to send out invitations to our community members, review the history of those invitations, and in delivery, we can set up our email templates and email preferences. Now, the one thing I will note here, referral tracking will be found under delivery, under the send. Previously, referral tracking was found under modules for those of you who use that feature. Moving over to incentives, this is where we're going to find our points and rewards and manage that, as well as manage our inventory. Or if you haven't added to your communities or are looking to add communities, we do offer badges as an additional gamification piece to keep your community members engaged. Going over to analytics, we find ourselves at our community health dashboard, which I like to call panel health dashboard, PHD. I've always wanted to call something that. So we also have our point distribution and profile report. And very powerful if you haven't used it yet is sampling. The view makes it easy to go in and kind of make some determination in terms of projects that you're thinking about fielding and your ability to fulfill those. Filters gives you the ability to do more of the same that you do in the view, but also save those filters for later use for easy deployment. And if you need to balance your deployment, feel free to do so also under sampling and balancing. And lastly, we find in the submenus modules. This is where we have access to survey swipe, live metrics, our discussions piece, which is great for running live discussions, which we did a webinar for previously. So if you have some interest in live discussions, please head over to our blog. We have a wrap-up from that session along with the video as well, in which you can find out more, or you can ping anyone on the customer success team, which would love to make you successful in running live discussions. And lastly, we have data share, and you can also find your image library here under modules. All right. Well, thank you, Christina and Z, for giving me a few moments into this. I think we have a couple of more things that were released in 8.0 that we want to talk about, Z.
Yes, we do. So this is where we get to what I feel like is super technical because I don't completely understand it 100%. I'm still learning it. So just to be completely clear, if you ask questions about this, we might need to follow up with you afterwards. But we have expanded API capabilities. So the first thing that we have done is we've added a time filter for API. So previously there was the ability to filter responses by specifying a start date and end date, but now in addition to that, we have added time. So you can actually do timestamp plus start date and end date when you're doing that API time filter. The other API enhancement that we have done is we've expanded the Salesforce API. So if you're using that Salesforce API, I believe previously you were only limited to 5 custom variables. It is now open for all 255 custom variables that you're probably familiar with if you're using custom variables in your survey. So we've expanded that to 255. We are very hopeful that covers everyone's needs when it comes to custom variables. If it doesn't, please let us know. We would love to help you out. But those are the two last things that we had in terms of additions that were made as part of this build, as part of this release.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's great. Those are great advantages that have been added to the API. And for those of you out there that are currently utilizing our API, I'm sure those will be helpful. And if there's any other things that you think of or calls that you've been hoping and wishing for, please reach out to us, because we're always looking for other calls to expand our API library to make it more efficient for you. Yeah.
Yeah. JJ, we have a question here from you going through the communities piece, and it's asking about life metrics and if we've made any developments, any enhancements with the life metrics tools. If you wanted to speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm glad that that was raised. Life metrics, for those of you who are not using life metrics currently, life metrics is something that really plays a part into Survey Swipe, which is taking your online community and turning it into a native application in which the communities can engage with that application. Some of the advantages of that is obviously the questions are rendered into that native app, which makes for a better user experience, but also you get the ability of push notifications, geolocation surveys, and etc. So adding on the life metrics piece, that's a way to simplify life metrics, is passive data collection. Think about it today when we browse the web, etc., and those little pesky cookies that are tracking things on us, the information to know which browser we're on, which IP address, etc., etc. All those other data points that can help make deeper analysis or to further some thoughts on that particular user. That's where Life Metrics steps in and ties in with the native app. We have been reviewing our current Life Metrics, our passive data structure, to see where we want to take it next quarter. We do have plenty of things on the roadmap that we look to unleash in a future webinar. But what we have started is a customer advocacy group, in which one of our first topics are going to be around mobile and life metrics. So those of you who are currently on this call today and have not received an invitation to be a part of our advisory board, please raise your hand in the chat session, and we would love to get you in on that roundtable discussion.
Absolutely, and we'll take note of those who would like to participate. So. All right. Is there anything else, Christina, JJ, or people who are sending, please keep sending questions through. We really appreciate the questions that you are sending and the engagement here. Please let us know if there's, maybe you've been using SurveyAnalytics for a couple of days now and there are some questions, you can't find something that you thought you knew where it was. We would love to answer that live if we could. So please send those questions through. Or let us know if you like the changes that have been made. Christina and JJ, any closing comments while people are hopefully submitting some questions?
I'll let Christina go first.
Well, I mean, I think that the new UI and all the new capabilities that SurveyAnalytics 8.0 is a really great addition to the research that a lot of you guys are going to be doing. Hopefully we've set you all up for success, and if there's any additions that we can be making or if there's anything additional that we can do for you, please don't hesitate to let us know. Yeah. Otherwise, I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, what I would like to end on, Z, and I'll let you be the final end, Z, but is I'd like to thank everyone who has joined today, and those of you who may be watching this video later on. Many of the changes that have happened in 8.0 and many of the changes that will happen in the future are powered by you, the customer. We definitely believe in not only helping you listen, but we listen to you as well. So please continue to send in those ideas. Please continue to chat and discuss with us, even if you think it's something too big and nothing is also too small. We would love to talk about it and see what we can do to advance the tool, enhance the tool, or make it more efficient for you in the future and your research needs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll totally echo what JJ has said. I've been working with this company for a few months, and one of the things that has really impressed me is the fact that we really are always listening to our customers, really wanting to be able to help you be successful in your endeavors with this tool. One of my goals as community manager is to help you be successful in your jobs as market researchers. I know that is the same goal that all of us share here at this company. Is we really are striving for your success. So we do listen when you send us comments or send us suggestions on how we can be improving your experience. We might not always be able to get to it as quickly as we would like or as you would like, but we really are always taking those into account and using those to help feed the roadmap for what we are going to be doing next. And we also have a question here about polls. JJ, can polls be used on the community page?
In this 8.0 launch, polls absolutely can be used on the community page in terms of just placing the HTML on there and having the poll available. In Q3, what we'll be doing is when it's used in communities, also attaching the data to capture the community member information, such as any profile information, community ID, obviously an email address. That way, to that particular poll, you can attach that additional data for analytical purposes as well. So we can look forward to that in the Q3.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that captures everything that we wanted to cover today. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We really have appreciated your comments and your questions, and we hope that you find this a great use of time, and we hope that you appreciate all of the changes to SurveyAnalytics 8.0. Again, if you have questions, reach out to your customer success manager, and we would be happy to help you and walk you through any of the questions that you might have. Otherwise, thank you very much, and we hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and rest of your week.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.